UK.
And breaking news coming at this point of time. Israeli Defense Ministry says several cargo planes carrying armaments and military equipment for the IDF landed in Israel today. The vast majority of the planes have come from the US. It is a part of efforts to strengthen operational continuity and support all the IDF's needs, both for achieving the goals of the war and for improving readiness and stockpiles. Since the start of Israel's operation against Iran, 14 cargo planes with equipment for the IDF have landed in Israel. And that's the news coming in that the Israeli Defense Ministry says several cargo planes carrying armaments and military equipment for the IDF landed in Israel today. The vast majority of the planes have come from the United States of America. This comes, of course, after US President Donald Trump yesterday clearly stated that we have superiority over the Iranian skies, clearly asserting that US is with Israel in the ongoing war. And now what we're also getting you the latest is that US is also assisting the Israeli defense personnel, with the IDF saying that several cargo planes carrying armaments and military equipment for the IDF has landed in Israel today. Earlier, 14 cargo planes with equipment were transferred to Israel through the United States of America. That's since the start of the Israel's Operation Rising Lion against Iran. We are on day 7 of the Israel-Iran conflict. Till now, 14 cargo planes with equipment for the IDF have landed in Israel.
Welcome back to We on Wild is One. We're glad you're watching. Thank you for joining us at this hour. I'm Eric Njoka. The headlines. Reports say American B-2 stealth bombers left the U.S. and appeared to be heading towards Diego Garcia, a strategic military base in the Indian Ocean. This comes as Israel-Iran war enters the second week. IDF chief claims to have killed two Iran Quds Force commanders, Saeed Izadi and Benam Shariyari, in Israeli strikes. This as tensions escalate between Israel and Iran for the 9th consecutive day. Tehran witnesses massive traffic jams as people from northern Iran throng the capital city. Highest traffic volume recorded on the North Tehran and the Firuz Koh highway.
Does Iran have 2 weeks, or could you strike before that? Are you essentially giving them a 2-week timeline?
I'm giving them a period of time. We're going to see what that period of time is, but I'm giving them a period of time. And I would say 2 weeks would be the maximum.
Mr. President, the Iranian foreign minister this afternoon said if the U.S. is serious about negotiations, that you would call up Israel and request that they stop their airstrikes. Will you make that request?
Well, I think it's very hard to make that request right now. If somebody's winning, it's a little bit harder to do than if somebody's losing. But we're ready, willing, and able, and we've been speaking to Iran, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Breaking news now. The United States has gotten involved in the conflict between Israel and Iran. President Trump says the U.S. military struck 3 sites in Iran, directly joining Israel's effort to decapitate the country's nuclear program. Trump posted on social media a little bit before 5 o'clock today, "We have completed our very successful attack," he says, on 3 nuclear sites in Iran, adding all planes are now outside of Iran airspace. Now is the time for peace. The president plans to address the nation at 7 p.m. our time. Last night, the U.S. military moved multiple B-2 bombers from an Air Force base in Missouri. Meanwhile, more airstrikes were exchanged between Israel and Iran overnight. Reed Binion has the very latest.
As the Israel-Iran conflict extends into its second week, the two sides exchanged fresh strikes overnight Friday into Saturday. Israel targeted Iran's largest nuclear research complex, according to an Iranian official, while Israel said it killed 2 commanders of an elite branch of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Israel's military also said 2 Iranian drones managed to get past Israel's air defenses, a rare event, striking sites in the north and south. Meanwhile, President Trump says the clock is ticking on a possible diplomatic solution before he decides on U.S. involvement.
We're going to see what that period of time is, but I'm giving them a period of time, and I would say 2 weeks would be the maximum.
But so far, there haven't been any breakthroughs during talks in Geneva and Turkey. Iran's foreign minister said his country won't negotiate with the U.S. while Israel's bombardment continues.
Iran is ready to consider diplomacy once again. And once aggression is stopped and the aggressor is held accountable for the crimes committed.
The foreign minister adding that if the U.S. gets involved in the conflict, it would be, quote, very dangerous for everybody. Reed Binion, King 5 News.
And again, that breaking news, the U.S. has now gotten involved. Trump will speak around 7 p.m. our time. As the conflict continues, Iranian Americans in Western Washington are speaking out. Computer scientist Ali Musavi says he has no choice but to protest as his home country of Iran is under Israeli bombardment. He marched alongside dozens of fellow Iranian Americans in Kirkland this week in opposition to the U.S. government's involvement in the conflict. Musavi says he has already lost friends and family members.
I would say the majority of Iranian people want is a change that is brought by themselves. They don't want any external force, any external country to come and make a change inside their country.
The Israeli government says the bombing is part of a targeted campaign to take out Iranian nuclear sites. Iran, in response, has launched hundreds of missiles and drones at major Israeli cities.
A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive.
אתם זוכרים שמתחילת המבצע אני הבטחתי לכם שמתקני הגרעין של איראן יושמדו בדרך זו או אחרת. ההבטחה הזו קוימה. לפני זמן קצר, בתיאום מלא ביני לבין הנשיא טראמפ, ובתיאום מבצעי מלא בין צה"ל וצבא ארצות הברית, ארצות הברית תקפה את 3 מתקני הגרעין של איראן, פורדו, נתנז ואספהאן. בכך המשיכה ארצות הברית ביתר שאת ובעוצמה כבירה את התקיפות של צה"ל והמוסד על תוכנית הגרעין של איראן. התוכנית הזו אימה על עצם קיומנו, והיא גם סיכנה את שלום העולם כולו. מיד לאחר השלמת הפעולה, הנשיא טראמפ צלצל אליי. הייתה שיחה מאוד חמה, מאוד מרגשת. הוא בירך אותי, הוא בירך את צבאנו, הוא בירך את עמנו. ואני בירכתי אותו, את טייסי ארצות הברית ואת העם האמריקני. הנשיא טראמפ מנהיג בעוז את העולם החופשי. הוא ידיד ענק של ישראל, ידיד שלא היה כמותו. בשמי ובשם כל אזרחי ישראל, בשם העם היהודי כולו, אני מודה לו מעומק ליבי.
The Islamic Republic of Iran condemns in the strongest terms the United States' brutal military aggression against Iran's peaceful nuclear facilities. It is an outrageous, grave, and unprecedented violation of the fundamental principles of the Charter of the United Nations and international law. The warmongering and lawless administration in Washington is solely and fully responsible for the dangerous consequences and far-reaching implications of its act of aggression.